Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Guy Jeans, and today I'm going to do a fishing report on the Upper Kern and the Lower Kern. So stay tuned.
And even if my pocket's empty, I don't really want to go to work.
Well, you guys, I wanted to show you a little bit behind the scenes, some of the stuff that I do. Not only am I editing my fishing reports, and I'm getting a little bit better each time, I also will do the music in some of the different segments. And I wanted to show you guys how I do that. I have the Yamaha Modix 8 right here, which has a bunch of sounds. It's a really cool instrument. I also have the Roland TR-8S drum machine, which is amazing as well. You can create your own beats and that sort of thing. And then everything goes into this, which is a Tascam 24-track mixer. And I can layer and put different instruments on top of the piano and that sort of thing. So right now I'm currently working on a piano piece with a beat for the drone shots that are going to be in the next fishing report. So when you see the fishing report and you see the drone shots, that's my music behind the drone. And I'm going to show you a little taste of how I do that and what it looks like and everything. So I'm going to try to play this and kind of give you guys a taste of what the music sounds like in the next drone shots. So if you can imagine a drone flying. So there you have a little taste of behind the scenes of what I'm doing with the music and that sort of thing. And having a blast doing it, man. I've been going out, filming, and then I come back and I edit, do the music, and that's been keeping me busy. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying the creative process for sure. But thanks for watching, you guys. Okay, so let's go in the shop and see what Dano says about fly selection and water temperature. Let's go say hi to Dan. Hey Dano. So what's happening out there and what flies are happening?
Well, still again, working with the stone flies. Of course, we're using the yellow Sally, but don't be afraid to maybe even use the Rio My Gal Sal. We have them in a couple of sizes here. Also, time to even use smaller flies, like the smaller Psycho Maze, size even 14, 16s, and 20s. Okay. Other good ones, just good attractors, are these tungsten jig halos.
Oh, I love that fly.
Another good one that we've just brought in that I want to try is somewhere around here. Here it is, the Reckoner in size 14. And the tried and true drag queens, but also don't forget about the meatheads.
Oh yeah, those are great flies. Cool. What about anything hatching out there that we should know about?
Still some slight caddis hatches. So early morning, later in the evening. So yeah, so various sizes and colors here. We also have the scaddis, and then I really like the parachute caddis.
Okay. What about any hoppers going on?
Yeah, so hoppers, we have a new hopper in, which I really like. It's the Hopper Skippy in tan in size 6.
Ooh, that's good looking.
So yeah, and then the traditional ones that we usually use, even above the Johnsondale Bridge as well, is the Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Nice. Hey, so let me ask you, what's going on with like above the Johnsondale Bridge? Is that fishing pretty good up there and like even beyond? Is that a good place to be right now?
Yeah, it's number one, it's a magical place to be.
Yeah.
But you have to get up really early, get out there before the fish kind of shut down. So just get on the water early, get on the trail early, beat the heat, because even the fish are going to be shutting down. If you get there early enough, you have an opportunity to catch a really nice fish.
Okay.
So a lot of you have probably seen me in the shop wearing these funky glasses. They're made by Click, and they're great. The way they work is they have a magnetic part right in the middle of the glasses. They look a little funny, but they do the job.
They look great.
They come in different, how you say in America.
Yeah, they come in different powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we have the new polarized Clicks, and they also have bifocals.
Oh, nice. So flows on the Upper Kern. So down below town, below KR3, the flows are around 200, and up above that they're about 140. And then if you go above the Fairview Dam, they're going to be in that 200 range again. So the flows are different in different sections. Just remember that when you guys are fishing the Kern. Let's talk about water temperature. Yeah, so the water temperatures are going to vary in the different sections. You know, down in town, they might be a little cooler because they're coming out of the powerhouse. So right below the powerhouse, they're going to be a little cooler. If you go in the low flow section, they're going to be a little warmer. If you go above the Fairview Dam and you go into the wild trout section on into the forks, the temperature of the water is going to be a lot cooler. So something to think about. If I was you, I would go above the Johnsondale Bridge and higher and get into some of that cooler water. The thing right now too is you want to get on the water early. I would say get on the water at first light if you can. Water temperatures are going to be the coolest. Air temperatures are going to be cooler. It is 8:30 in the morning right now, and the air temperature is already 85 here. So we've been getting into like the 106 crazy temperatures, you know, in the middle of the day. So any fishing I've been doing early in the morning, first light till about 10 o'clock. So weather-wise, we're going to be hitting those 100-degree temps, you know, this week. We do have a slight cool down coming. Wow, a big slight cool down into the high 90s. It's crazy, man. Yeah, it's supposed to cool down a little bit. It means a little bit cooler nights. It means the water temperature will cool down a little bit. But I'm sure looking forward to September when the water temperatures come down and the weather cools down and all that sort of thing. But right now, the game, the August game, the long days of August and hot weather. The game is early in the morning, first light, and till about 10 o'clock. And then it's just blazing hot up here. So little thing there for you. Also, the crowds are gone. School started, so going above the bridge and getting into that special regulation section is a key thing to do. I think at first light, get up there, get above, and even go beyond that. Get up into that cool water, up into the upper stretches of the Kern. The upper Kern is 70 miles long. A lot of people don't know that. And most people focus on the 20-mile section from Kernville up to the Johnsondale Bridge, but then it goes another 50 miles above that. And beautiful fishing. If you're into that wild trout, that kind of wild trout fly fishing experience, it's world class. So something to check out. So let's drive down and check out the Lower Kern and see what's happened down on the Lower Kern. See if the flows have come down. If it's fishable, that sort of thing. The Lower Kern's my favorite. I love fishing the Lower Kern. It's got some great fishing opportunities, some great floating opportunities. So if you like fishing for warm water species, like smallmouth and just bass species, we've got a variety of bass species, it's a good time. Okay, so I'm here on the Lower Kern, and the flows are about 1,000, and I'm gonna throw a popper here with my little 3-weight, which is super fun. Little frog pattern right here. Just because it's early, it's about 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's about I'd say 80 degrees already this morning. But I'm just gonna haven't been able to fish the Lower Kern in quite a while, so this is kind of cool. Just to be able to fish it. It's still a little bit high to float in my opinion, but sometimes you can pick up a fish or two. Oh, there's one. Nice. On the popper. Let's see what he is. That's fun. That's a little 3-weight. A little spotted bass. That's cool. Or looks like a mean mouth. That's kind of fun. That was on the frog pattern. Oh, there's a serious grab. There's one. Oh, finally. All right. Looks like a smallie. There we go. Yeah. Oh, largemouth. That's super fun, man. They do get bigger than that, believe me. Okay, well, I'm here on the Lower Kern, and man, the Lower Kern is looking prime. It's water's finally coming down. It's down to 1,000, and I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see, what this looks like. The water's clear, and I haven't seen the river, Lower River, this clear. It is amazing. I'm going to switch this around here so you guys can see. But you can kind of see through the water there. One of my indicators of when the river starts getting is this bank right over here. If I start seeing the bank right there, it starts to look really fishy to me. This is fishable. We're starting to see the pockets and that sort of thing. This is 1,000 CFS down here, and I like it to be around 300, 400 CFS for floating the Kern and fishing for smallmouth, largemouth, spotted bass, and meanmouth bass down here. This is looking really, really amazing. Let's look at the other side. All right, you guys, there you have it. There's the fishing report. I hope to see you guys next time here on the Kern River Fly Shop Fishing Report.
And even if my pocket's empty, I don't